This is the AUDIOENGINE N22 beginner level audiophile amplifier. And oh, I'm sorry, you've never heard of this before? It's only like one of the best kept budget secrets for the last 13 years. Yes, you heard right. This is as old as Instagram, Angry Birds, and even the first iPad. But this N22 unit I have in my hands right here is a little bit different. It's been reinvigorated for our wireless and connected times with new innards and all. So is it dope, or is it still at the very least relevant? That's what this video is seeking to find out, so let's do it after these messages. That way. Whoosh. The AUDIOENGINE N22 retails for $270, comes in only this colorway. It's a Class-D amplifier type now. It used to be AB, but because of some internal changes, it's now moved to Class-D. So in a way, it's less efficient, but it's supposed to have the highest audio fidelity. 52 watts per channel in terms of speaker output. It's up from 22 watts per channel over the older model. Connected here in this case to really nice gold-plated binding posts. Really nice that you can use banana plugs or just regular open cables and connect it to your speakers. 2.8 watts through the 3.5 millimeter output at the front, or 1.5 volts from the RCAs. For inputs, there's Bluetooth, aptX HD, USB-C at the top right here, and also analog. There's a volume knob right here with an integrated on-off switch, which is really nice and easy. The weight altogether, if you plan on carrying this around, it's only 3.6 pounds. It's mostly a plastic shell, but it feels, listen to that, it feels solid and really well put together. It's really a tank. With the included stand installed, this thing gives off a mini PC vibe, don't it? I really like it, but if you don't, you can just detach it, lay it on its side if you prefer. And speaking of included, the N22 comes with a couple of, I would say, 2 feet long speaker cables, and of course, the power cord. And speaking of power, over the older model, the power supply is now internal, so there's no like external ugly brick on the outside. While amplifiers are made to add more power and therefore don't necessarily improve sound quality like DACs do. For example, connecting quality speakers or headphones to the N22 does give them more room and wattage to perform the best, not to mention the added benefit of helping you identify their weak spots as well. AUDIOENGINE sent me these sweet looking P4 passives, and by themselves, just the speakers alone, they have some of the smoothest mid-range flexibility and overall clarity for the price. But when wired to the N22, the sound becomes just more sumptuous. Like the vocals especially become so engaging, and instruments in the upper mid-range have fantastic articulation. To its credit, the N22 also exposes how much the P4s really need a subwoofer, because even at a generous 58 Hz on paper anyway, it comes off as unrefined in the lower regions. For the 3.5mm output at the front here, AUDIOENGINE told me that they, quote, tested up to 250 ohms headphones and they are designed to handle above 600 ohms, no problem. In other words, IEMs pair amazingly with the N22. Like my legatos and JoJos on this thing was so much more fun with lots of energy to spare. Headphones were a little bit of a mixed bag for me, even though I use headphones that scale well, supposedly like the LCD-X or the 400 SE or the 300 ohm Sivgaluan. And they all sounded good, mind you, but I did often wish for some kind of power match function of some kind, especially at this price. And here's what I mean. The LCD-X, they're easy to drive, right? At 20 ohms impedance, 103 dB sensitivity. You can plug them into a phone and they're supposed to sound fine. On the N22, the LCD-X wakes up quite a bit compared to connected to a phone, obviously, which is great in isolation. And when I connected the LCD-X to a $99 iFi Zen Air DAC with its power match function turned on, you can hear those planar magnetic plates shout like, hallelujah, we definitely needed that boost. And I wish the same thing for the N22. Just look at this thing. It's small, it's a neat package, and a small footprint, guys, means A, it takes up almost no space at all on your desk, side table, or even your media center. And B, while not exactly pocketable, there is some potential for being a portable amp that you can take to, say, your buddy's house or Airbnb to, connect to other speakers. And C, it's also so easy to keep clean. I love that the N22 combines simplicity at the front with loads of connectivity on the inside as well as the back. It's like the most non-intimidating thing because users just have one knob to deal with. It powers the amp and changes the volume. Like, that's it. It's also awesome to see the N22 now with Bluetooth, which adds, a level of convenience on top of the high-quality physical connections. I do have to say that it is aptX HD, so, this being launched in 2023, I was expecting to see at a minimum aptX Adaptive or LE or some kind of high-res support. Why Audioengine didn't give us a 1/4 inch output is beyond me. I mean, 3.5mm is fine, but I think as an audiophile device, even though this is beginner, the N22 should have come with a 1/4 inch, then included a 3.5mm adapter. And yes, I'm aware that you can buy a 3.5 to 1/4 inch adapter like this dongle right here, but it's less common and it would have been nice at the very least for Audioengine to include this in the package. In this case, I had to spend more for one. A big miss for me in terms of ergonomics is the lack of any kind of volume indicator on the really nice volume knob. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm constantly having to remind myself or second guess, like, did I leave the volume at 2 o'clock or 11 o'clock? I can't really tell, so I had to ghetto Sharpie it. $280 asking is a little pricey for a couple of reasons. And don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic piece of kit, but that realization comes only after you've actually bit the bullet. Prior to that happening though, most people who are still looking and researching will look at this and suffer from some kind of sticker shock, I can expect. Because remember, this is marketed as a beginner amp, so Audioengine should have stuck close to the OG pricing. So considering inflation, brand tax, and all that, I think $225, $230 would have been the sweet spot. Secondly, it's only an amp. A lot of the competition like the Feio K7 and the i5 Zen series have DAC amp solutions for around the same price, or even quite a bit less sometimes. The Audioengine N22, thank goodness, carries on the legacy of the first gen with tweaks that give it more output per channel, cleaner signal too, a more refined exterior design, wireless connectivity, built-in power supply, no more giant external brick to tote around, and fantastic build quality. The N22 pairs quite well with these P4 passive speakers, but don't let that stop you from experimenting with your own favorite set of headphones and speakers. And of course, if you don't need Bluetooth and want to just save some cash, you can find a 2010 N22 for much less. So there you have it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and remember to show your support. Thumbs up if you like it, comment nicely down below. Don't forget to subscribe, check out my playlist, share this channel with your friends, get me to 50,000 subs. And don't forget to do something loving and kind for somebody in this world, because guess what, guys? If you haven't seen the news, like with Morocco and all that, the world needs it more than ever, and it starts with you. I love y'all very much. Peace out, and God bless. Whoosh.